Okay, nice landing. I think you stuck it. Maybe not quite united, but maybe spirit.
Exactly.
Well, welcome back to Partners in Play. I'm Bobby Torres, your host, and today we're here at Talent Simulation, meeting with Brandon Naids and his team. Well, Brandon I've known for a few years now. Met him as he was coming out of UCF, and he started a simulation company making the next generation of virtual reality and motion platform simulators. So I want to catch up with him today, see what he thinks the future of the industry is, location-based entertainment, defense, and just get to know more about what he does. Brandon, thank you again, man, for hosting us here. Yeah, so what got you started building this out? What were you doing when you started Talent Simulation?
I was in my senior year mechanical engineering at UCF. I was interning at Universal Orlando actually at the time in their engineering department, and that was always the career path I wanted to go. I wanted to build roller coasters. When I was working there, I was more maintaining roller coasters, but it was amazing. I started as a ride operator there at the Hulk and kind of worked my way into engineering and got familiar with their large-scale simulator attractions. That's why we ended up doing more amusement industry products. Not only was that my background, but that was the early adopter of this technology was location-based entertainment because the stuff wasn't ready for home use. If you go and spend $5 on a VR ride, there was a market for that. And that's what led our business for the first few years back then.
So I guess taking back to 2015, you hear about this Oculus DK1, and did you use it? Did you get your hands on that at that time?
So technically, this idea came about in 2013. The announcement of it on Kickstarter is what led this other group of guys. I guess the senior project gave them an excuse to buy an Oculus Rift. Yeah. They got funding for the project and they were like, I want a Rift. If I can use it for this project, like it can fund it. And so we ended up using the DK1 for that prototype. It worked all right. I mean, it was exciting. It was really just a phone inside this new casing and had that concept in there. And so, but it revolutionized this new generation of VR.
For VR, I think my first true interaction was the DK2, and that's when things kind of the screen resolution got a little bit better, and there was a little bit more content now. So that little stupid onboarding demo that they had for the DK2 was that was my turning moment for me in VR, because I was just like, oh my God, this is the future. You could just transport yourself to all these worlds and use all these things. It could be for fun and it could be for practical application. You could save the world with this headset, right? They did that all in this one tiny, I think it was maybe 3-minute demo, 2-minute demo. It was just on rails. It was just amusement park attraction that they just ran a video, had very little interactions. I don't even know if it had controllers at this point.
They did not.
Yeah.
It came with an Xbox controller.
Right, yeah. And for this, you didn't use the Xbox controller. You just ran the demo, and honestly, many people got sick, because what we used to do, once we got our DK2, we would just get new friends and our people on it and watch them react. And people would either have an amazing reaction or just get really sick.
Yeah.
Did you ever get sick? Are you a motion sickness guy?
Not so much, but there's definitely been a few times, and it really depends on how optimized the software is. And back then too, the headsets didn't have great resolution or great frame rate, so that did onset sickness. But really what can still get me a little rattled is when I go from a flight simulator to a driving simulator to a roller coaster, all back to back to back. That's when people get kind of nauseous. And so at trade shows that are dedicated to immersive technology and AR and VR, it's hard to demo everything because you're trying this headset and this experience and then this headset and this experience, so it can be a little nauseating.
You were the first people I ever had met that were making motion platforms. So for you, having some amusement park background at that time, did you see a future in some of this stuff? Was this just exciting for you because it was a challenge, or was I think attractions are gonna be more motion-based, and then, oh, by the way, there's this crazy thing called VR. Yeah, what was that like? What was that for you, right? Why motion platforms and then plus VR?
Well, I definitely was inspired by taking headsets and make Universal and Disney style attractions accessible to outside of those large theme parks. And you can do that with this. Now you don't need a whole dome projector to be able to provide that experience to people. And really the concept of the flight simulator included motion to begin with for the school project, and sort of that just became a differentiator for us. So I think it was just a natural development where we all kind of agreed that the motion was important. And then I actually went and started studying. I went back for my master's after we finished this project, and ended up focusing some research on motion platforms and flight simulators. And there's been a debate on the effectiveness, like how much does that increase pilot training, whether it's 2 degrees of freedom or 6 degrees of freedom or motion, no motion. And really it depends on the use case is really what people have determined. And now we need to run more studies to see how a head-mounted display with motion can help improve pilot training as well. But as far as experiences go, it's especially at theme parks or entertainment centers, you're always trying to provide something that you can't get at home. People don't want to pay for something somewhere that they can do at home. So having a motion simulator is that extra level, that 4D experience that you can't get at home, and that was a natural progression for us. And we're mechanical engineers, so we learned about those principles and linkages, and just is a big part of us now, like just VR and motion. And is another thing that sets us apart because there's a lot of static simulators out there. And yeah, we're really passionate about people coming to us and saying like, I don't want a motion simulator. I'm like, well, then maybe you should go to this company, because the motion definitely helps prevent VR sickness, especially in the type of simulators we do, flight simulators, roller coasters, race cars. I compare it to the opposite of being on a cruise ship, wherein you're in a cruise ship and you're inside and your body feels it moving, but your eyes don't see it. And that disconnects what gets you sick. So if you're in a VR flight simulator and your eyes make it look like you're doing all these maneuvers in the air, but your body doesn't feel it, that gets people more sick. So knowing that fact in general, it's like, it makes sense for us to continue pushing the motion aspect.
All right, let's go check out the back, huh? Yeah.
Welcome to the build room. It's where we put together pieces to fabricate our motion platforms. And so we'll get all the final pieces, build them, and this is where we're really just working with the tools, trying to piece things together. So that's our job, is assembly for the most part. And then one of our rooms next door will take these finished platforms and test them. And then we're able to move them to shipping. So we don't specialize in metal fabrication. We'll go and work with those experts, piece those together, get these final parts after they're welded and powder coated, and then we build them like you would with Connects or Legos, essentially, just the beefed up versions.
That's really cool. This is like probably my childhood dream, to have like this many tools. That's awesome, man. So do you have one that's built? Do you have something that we can
Yeah,
see?
definitely. I figured I'd compete against you in a race, and winner buys drinks.
Okay, buys drinks. Okay, I saw a Cracker Barrel around the corner. We can maybe get some grits too.
Yes.
Oh,
I played dirty.
what is this setup you got here?
This is a 3 degree of freedom motion platform, and in a fighter jet configuration, so we can do a variety of aircraft. This one can then be configured for F-22s, F-35s. You can do center sticks as well. So this is the flight system that's modular. So we can, as I said, we do solutions, and this we will create to reflect what is most applicable to that use case. And so right here, this is using X-Plane 12, and this is the HTC Vive Pro, and we're gonna go and take off here and fly around a little bit.
Oh, we lost them on the runway? Are we calling the fire department? Okay, nice landing. I think you stuck it. Maybe not quite United, but maybe Spirit.
Exactly.
They see me rolling, they hating.